Good evening, welcome to Cardiff City TV.
What a finish, what a goal! Dangerous cross and skip, headed back, good save from Alsop.
Good afternoon everyone, welcome to Cardiff City TV for today's live coverage of the Bluebirds' long away trip to Sunderland. Now as you can see, I am not at the Stadium of Light this afternoon, but my colleagues Mark Denham and Connor Pearce certainly are, and they are waiting and prepared to bring you live coverage of this afternoon's game from just before 3 o'clock. We'll also hear from Cardiff goalkeeper Ryan Alsop before kick-off as well, as one of my colleagues caught up with him on arrival at the Stadium of Light just a few moments ago. 3 fixtures then remaining for the Bluebirds ahead of that 4-week World Cup stoppage. Sunderland this afternoon, Hull City at home on Tuesday night, and then what looks like being once again a really tricky fixture against the Sheffield United team that have just put 5 goals past league leaders Burnley to move into second in the Championship. 3 points separate these two clubs this afternoon. Cardiff looking to close the gap on a Sunderland team that really started the season strongly. Lost their manager, of course, with Alex Neil moving to Stoke, and things have been a little trickier for them since then. They come into this afternoon's game with just 1 win in their last 4. Cardiff with 1 win in their last 5, incidentally. For Sunderland, it's just 2 wins in their last 9, although they do have a handful of draws in there, which is why they're just above Cardiff in the table. Now, it's not just about looking up, is it, for the Bluebirds? It's having one eye over their shoulder as well, because there's just 2 points adrift of the relegation places as we head into this afternoon. And Mark Hudson has made 1 change for the Bluebirds starting lineup this afternoon, and it comes in an attacking change as he's Shea Ojo come into play as the number 10 instead of Andy Rinomhota, who drops to the bench. So we think it's going to be Ryan Alsop in goals. A back 4 of Marlon Romeo, back fit again, of course, played the last 2 games. Perry Ng and Cedric Kipre now established as the centre-half. Cedric, the first club goal in midweek. Niels Nkanku at left back. Central midfield too of Captain Joe Rolls and Ryan Wintle, with Shea Ojo playing as the 10 ahead of them in an attacking switch. And then Jayden Philogene, Callum O'Dowda on the flanks, with Mark Harris through the middle. A couple of changes on the bench as well. Tom Sang, Curtis Nelson, Romain Sawyers all retain their place. Jack Anick is, of course, still the backup goalkeeper. Andy Rinomhota dropping to the bench. There's still a place for Max Waters also, but there is a change, which sees Gavin White come back into the matchday squad. No Keon Mattet this afternoon. That's your Cardiff City starting lineup then for this afternoon's game with Sunderland. And as promised, here's what Ryan Alsop had to say when he caught up with my colleagues just a few moments ago.
Ryan, another trip on the road to Sunderland today. What are you expecting from this game this afternoon?
Yeah, we're expecting a tough game. They always are in this league. Tough place to come. Going to be a good atmosphere. But we've prepared well. Travelled up yesterday, obviously, and had a good preparation leading up to it, so very much looking forward to it.
And after a midweek game, obviously the rest and recovery is really important. What's it been like since Watford in the camp, and how much are the boys looking forward to getting out there today?
Yeah, it's been, we've had to take the positives out of it. It's not the result we obviously wanted, but we're looking to bounce back today and get the 3 points.
And obviously our last away game before that World Cup break, we've had some good results on the road, and the points so important at this stage of the season, aren't they? Yeah,
of course, yeah. We're going into these next 3 games looking to pick up as many points as possible. We want to finish strong going into the winter break, and hopefully that starts today.
And a word on the travelling fans, 700 Bluebirds here at the Stadium of Light today. You want to put on a performance for them, don't you?
Of course we do, yeah. It's so appreciated and helps so much, the support we get on the road, especially. So yeah, want to put a performance on for them, and hopefully send them, give them a happy journey back.
Cardiff goalkeeper Ryan Alsop there talking to a colleague of mine at the Stadium of Light as we edge towards kick-off this afternoon, with the Bluebirds making that long, arduous journey up north to meet the Black Cats. Managed, of course, these days by Tony Mowbray, and looking to move Sunderland continually up the table. They could move as high as 9th in the table with a victory this afternoon. Cardiff, of course, looking to put that slender defeat to Watford behind them, a game which promised plenty, took an early lead through Cedric Ypres, and really played some of their best stuff of the season in the opening 20 minutes, and it was probably that latter 25 minutes of the first half which cost Cardiff, allowed Watford to take control of the game, and their greater quality showed. It was a much important win for Sunderland in the week. They won by 2-0 away at struggling Huddersfield Town. Goals from Alex Pritchard and Ahmad Jallow. One of those players is in the starting lineup for Tony Mowbray's men this afternoon. So I'll just quickly run you through the Sunderland team. It's Patterson in goals, Luke O'Nien at right back, Bailey Wright and Danny Batt together at centre half, with Dennis Churchin at left back. It looks like being Dan Neil and Abdullah Bar together in the centre of midfield. First game together for the season from the starting lineup for that pairing. And then an exciting, vibrant three behind a striker of Patrick Roberts, Manchester United loanee Ahmad Jallow, and Jack Clark, who's playing the best football of his career at the moment, off that left-hand side. And up front, Everton loanee Ellis Sims, who makes his first start since September the 14th. He came off the bench in midweek, but they've really been struggling for fitness in the striking department. They've largely been playing without the striker in recent months, with asking an attacking midfielder to fill in instead. Still no Ross Stewart for them. Leon Diaku still injured as well. But from a Sunderland perspective, great to see Ellis Sims back in the starting 11 this afternoon. If rumours are to be believed, it was a player that Cardiff had interest in the summer. Of course, didn't materialise, and Cardiff waiting for the return of their own striker, of course, Callum Robinson, this being his third and final game of that 3-match suspension, picked up against Swansea in the South Wales derby. He should be available again come Tuesday night against Hull City, but first Cardiff will be desperate to put some points on the board this afternoon against Sunderland, which leads us quite timely to throw over to our matchday commentators. Mark Denham and Connor Pearce are both in situ at the Stadium of Light, and they have live commentary for you the other side of this. Good evening, welcome to Cardiff City TV.
Mark Harris! What a finish! What a goal! Davies crossing the skate, headed down. Good save from Alsop.
He lost a couple of Sherpas on his way up to his seat earlier. It is quite the ascent, and I'm not exaggerating in the slightest. We have to get up here 5 minutes early so we can catch our breath to deliver this one to you today. Cardiff City against Sunderland here, a place that in recent years the Bluebirds have done pretty well, it must be said, and captain Joe Rawls was a match winner during the 17-18 season here under Neil Warnock. Well, in terms of team news today for the Bluebirds, there is a notable change. It's an attacking change to the best of our understanding, and that sees Shea Ojo come into the 11 in place of Andy Vinamata, who's dropped to the bench. So, in terms of City's lineup, we think it's going to be as follows. In goal, Ryan Alsop. The back four, Marlon Romeo, Perientry, Cedric Ypres and Niles and Kunku. Ryan Wintle and Joe Rawls sitting. Jaden Philogene ahead of them in the 10. Mark Harris leading the line, flanked by Carmo Dauda and Ojo. We'll see how that looks, but that's our best guess from what we can see on paper. On the bench for City, Jack Arnick, Tom Sang, Curtis Nelson, Romain Sawyers, Gavin White, Andy Vinamata and Max Waters. The clock continues to tick for Ruben Colwill, who's not involved today. Will we see him at Hull in the week? Let's hope so, for Ruben's sake, of course, and Wales. Well, for Sunderland, they line up as follows. In goal, Anthony Patterson. A back four for them of Dennis Sirkin at left back, Luke O'Neill at right back, and a centre-half partnership of former Wolves man Danny Barr and Bailey White. A holding two then of Dan Neil, discernibly, and Abdullah Barr, with Diallo then in the 10, flanked by Jack Clark and Patrick Roberts. Up top, Ellis Sims. It's Sunderland's Remembrance Day weekend, and we are going to acknowledge that ahead of kick-off.
Marching behind the three representatives into the centre.